dice out. Now, game! Greetings, dear listeners, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Checha, I'll be your DM for tonight, and the players with me tonight are Cora.
Hi.
And Richard.
Hey.
Now, this is an actual play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. That said, we are not exactly starting the campaign on this episode. We can't just throw a bunch of people together and expect them to get things done, so what we're doing instead is sort of prequel episodes where the characters will meet each other. Now, before the characters meet each other, let the audience meet you. Cora, why don't you start? Tell us who you are, who you're playing.
Hi, I'm Cora. I live in London. I'm playing Dekla Pekarova, who is a very kind of stoic half-orc monk who resists the ferocious nature of her race and embraces the meditative stance of the tradition. She wears kind of simple brown monk robes and looks fairly old for a monk with salt and pepper hair. She's very tall, 6'2", and has grey-green skin with green eyes. She has tattoos on her hands and a small scar on her lip.
Great. So, Richard, how about you? Who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Richard. I am playing Dawn, a Tabaxi rogue. Dawn is currently taking a gap year. He's studying at the University of Tarash, and he's really enjoying his studies. He really enjoys magical artifacts. He's tall and rangy. He's got black and grey fur, and normally quite vibrant clothes. He is 24, making his way into the world, and yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, those are our characters that will be playing with us today. We'll meet the other characters in the other few episodes, but as for right now, let's just get into it. It's a nice late summer's day, about 2 years before the events of the main campaign. We find ourselves in the village of Shengumar, at the base of the Grand Evian Mountains. Dekla, the half-orc girl, played by Cora, has been staying here for the past week or so, helping with the harvest. But today, seemingly out of nowhere, a bunch of archaeologists roll in, just after lunchtime. There's about 10 of them, including a few students, one of which is the handsome tabaxi, Dawn, played by Richard. Dawn, you're on this trip because it's mandatory for your studies that you participate in at least one dig per academic year, as it constitutes 30% of the grade, and you prefer to take one where at least the weather is somewhat warm. So your group has taken the transport circle from Taresh to Kanetir. The rest of the journey you've done on horseback.
I assume we have wagons as well for all our equipment.
You have like one
mule,
like the horse that carries all the equipment.
Okay.
Can be mule, but just like for the equipment.
Oh, sure.
Like a pack horse.
Yeah, that's I didn't find a word. Anyways, Dekla, you are sitting at an outside table at the inn, having a glass of wine after lunch, and this weird academic caravan pushes the two remaining outside tables together, settles down around them, obviously tired after the journey. Dawn, you go to sit next to your buddies and you find there aren't enough chairs.
That's okay. I will converse with each of my companions who come along this trip. Everyone's a bit tired. It's been a long journey. Keep the spirits up. I will wander around the outside of the table, chatting to individuals or groups as it goes.
Okay. Just to your buddies or to other patrons as well?
Just to my buddies at first. It's been a long day. We're getting them all settled in. And asking things like, has anyone got the maps of the area? Has anyone got the dig site? Who's in charge of which?
Yeah, well, your professor, who's in charge of the expedition, currently isn't with you. She's gone to see, you're here because she received a letter here, so she went to the center to retrieve something that they found. So yeah, you're sitting there, you're waiting for Professor Katya to return. The innkeeper comes by, asks you if you're gonna order anything. You will order something, I presume.
Yes. I assume the entire group will if it's around lunch.
Yeah, okay, so...
Dekla's just sitting there watching all of this happening.
Judging?
Probably not.
Probably.
She probably withholds judgment. At least, or perhaps she just gives silent judgment.
Well, Yeah, silent judgment is the best judgment. Anyways, yeah, you're sitting there, you're waiting for the professor. The innkeeper comes back with your orders, just
Thank him.
pushes yours into your hand because you're not sitting down.
That's fine. I take it and flick out a claw and spear a piece of whatever's on and nibble at it delicately.
Nice.
And I look around. What sort of settlement is it?
It's a small farming village. It's nothing big, a few houses, the inn, which is unnamed because it's the only inn in town. In the village, I should say. There's a schoolhouse that doubles as town hall and, everything else. There's probably not a church, there's probably, a shrine. Eventually, Professor comes back, and she walks up to Dekla, actually. She's a short, middle-aged human woman. She walks up to you and she says, "Greetings. I'm Professor Katja Leben from the University of Tarish. We are conducting an archaeological expedition to the Orloka, and we are in need of a guide. You see, we received a word at university that an artifact from pre-Saint's time was found, so we are going to explore the area to see if we can find anything else that can further our understanding of the area. We're going to hire a ranger from this village, but apparently he hasn't returned from the mountains yet, so instead I was pointing in your direction. I'm told you are familiar with the mountains and would like to ask you if you'd like to be our guide."
Well...
And don't worry, it's a paid gig. I'm not asking you to do it for free. I can put this under travel expenses.
You want to go into the mountains?
Well, yes. Like I said, there's been an artifact found from what we assume was pre-Saint's era due to the markings, and if you don't stop her, she's gonna go on a bit because she's a nerd.
Yeah, she'd probably, sit there, listen to the whole thing, and just, not listen to any of the nonsense, but not interrupt her.
Eventually, she has to stop to catch her breath, and you assume that that's a good point to cut in.
That's not really something I'm familiar with, but I think I could certainly give you a hand. I do know the mountains quite well, but they are dangerous. Is there anything... How many people are you taking?
Well, there's about 10 of us, and don't worry, we have our own guard with us. And she points to a human fighter at the table. Human woman, young-ish.
Give her a nod.
She nods back at you, kind of raises her cup at you a bit.
Very well. I don't want you to get hurt. I suppose I'll do my best. And good luck.
Thank you. Okay, so, would you say group, should we go right now? And the whole table collectively groans. Because you're all tired.
I will jump to the professor's aid, going, "Come on! We're already on the move. If we stop now, it'll only be harder to start again later."
And one of the students, Andrea, who's a half-elf, she says, "Come on, Dawn, not you as well. We're all tired. We've been on the road the whole day. Come on. Just let us rest."
"You can set up camp in the mountains. It'll be fine."
Yes, if we hurry, we can get there by sundown, probably.
And then think, we won't have to wake up early tomorrow. We won't have to pack everything up tomorrow. We'll already be there. All our stuff will be there.
And we won't lose a day, because we only have funding for a week, remember?
That too. Come on, guys. I sort of go around the table, start pushing people up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a check for that, and it's gonna have to be high because
Would that be persuasion?
Yes.
Okay. That's an 11 plus 6. Charisma 2. Yeah. So 17.
17, okay, that's high, and everybody sort of rolls their eyes, and they're like, "Can we at least finish lunch?"
Fine, you can finish lunch. Just
Yeah, and the professor's just sighs deeply, kind of wearily, okay, but then if we wait that long, we might not make it up the mountain in time.
I will take the professor by the arm and go, "Professor, should we get you some food as well? You two have been travelling. Come on, sit down." There you go. Pat, pat, pat.
Again, there's 8 chairs at the table, and there's 10 people.
I'm sure one of them would get up for their esteemed professor.
I mean, there are more chairs at other tables.
I look around to see an empty table, or one which is clearly not occupied by as many people as there are chairs.
Well, there's one right next to you. A half-orc woman is sitting there.
Oh, the professor's been talking to. I turn around, make to grab a stool, realise someone's sitting there, and
Dekla is sitting at the table. You're a brand new half-orc guide.
Yes, yeah. You're not using these, are you?
Plenty of room here.
Thank you very much. I'm Dawn, by the way. Sorry, I don't think I got your name.
Dekla.
Pleasure to meet you. Guys, just settle down here. Try not to disturb too much. I sit down and I turn to Dekla and go, So you're our guide. Have you lived here long? Do you know the mountains well?
Dekla, in this village, you've only been for like 2 weeks. Like, you've been traveling around a bit, helping whenever you can, earning a bit of money. So right now it's harvest time, and so you've been in this village helping with the harvest. Just a week or two, not long.
I've only been in this village for a week or so. I spent a long time in the mountains. I know my way around.
Ah, I see. Solitude, peace and quiet.
Yes.
Ah, yes. Some of the finer things in life, and I adjust the small little golden spectacles which are on the bridge of my nose.
Not too much reading in the mountains.
What are in the mountains? Have you found anything interesting? Do you have any stories to tell?
I have met wild beasts. I have looked after them sometimes. Every year, the world changes, and watching that gives you insight.
But the world changes minute by minute, surely.
That's true. But each year is as a heartbeat in the mountain, with new streams and rivers pumping fresh water down below.
I sort of turn my gaze up to the mountains like I'm taking in what she's saying, and then look back and go, if you say so, and I bow slightly. It's not really for me, I'm more of a city cat, but what can you do?
Quite.
Hustle and bustle, it seems very empty out here.
Okay, so this conversation goes on for a bit, or it doesn't, like, that depends on, maybe it's more of a I talk, you listen thing.
Yeah, I think it's more one of those.
Yeah, Dekla's very taciturn.
Okay, so, you've finished with your lunch, and it's taken longer than Professor Katya would have liked. So, she's, like, hurrying everyone up, like, hurry up, we still have to make it up the mountain. We don't want to travel in the dark. And, you're getting the idea that maybe some in the caravan are intentionally stalling.
For those that I think, as I'm sort of hustling people along, I'll introduce a sharp claw to a certain backside if I think people aren't moving quick enough. Come on. Sooner started, sooner ended. Off we go.
That's an intimidation.
Intimidation. Okay. 18.
You do this to the other professor in the caravan, in the group.
Whoops, got a bit enthusiastic.
Younger professor doesn't have tenure yet, and he's like, okay, no, you know what, they're right, we only have funding for a week, the sooner we start, the sooner we'll get there, the more we can dig up in the time we have, so yeah, everybody, let's just finish up and let's go. And everybody kind of groans, but they finish up, you pay at the inn, and then you're off on your way. It's a few hours up the mountain. By the time you make it there, it's already dark. You have the human fighter, her name is Ivana. She's sort of looking out for the group. Like, all students have some basic self-defense training, but, you can't rely on that. So the university actually has a deal with the Marquess that a town guard would be assigned to any one expedition. If you want more, you have to hire your own, which does not happen simply because the university doesn't like giving out money. So Ivana is your guard for the trip. But yeah, nothing really jumps out at you, nothing really happens on the way up there. You get there, there's a short cliff face, and it's a small cave entrance, and if you look closely, you can sort of see low remains of a wall structure in front of the cave entrance. And Professor is like, alright, we're here, let's set up camp and then let's go right to work. And yeah, you set up camp, and once you're set up, Professor Katya actually has to be talked down from just going to town with a shovel. Just like, well, at least we should do something, like, can't we at least do sketches? And everyone's like, no, it's dark, come on, we've been walking all day, we've been riding up all day, let's just...
Professor, we don't want to be throwing and wielding tools about in dark. The insurance premiums would be unacceptable.
Make a persuasion.
Oh, only 11.
Oh, right, you're right. Okay, alright. Okay, no, I see your point. Oh, yeah, if we lose any insurance on this, so I'll never get funded again.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly, yes. Now, come on, have some tea and let's all go to bed and we can get a good fresh start tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe we could at least do some preliminary sketches. And the other professor, Professor Tonchi, who's a huffing, he's like, no, it's too dark now, and we don't want to risk ruining the site by not seeing where we're stepping. And she's like, okay, then first thing tomorrow.
Yes, of course, first thing tomorrow, Professor.
I make a very good tea for the nerves.
I think that would be a fantastic idea, thank you.
Okay, so you give her the tea, and you settle down, and you go to sleep. Ivana stays out on watch, just in case some bear happened to walk out of somewhere. Like, if others can join watch if they want, but it's not required.
If at all possible, Dawn is going to sleep on a level that is above everybody else. Like, if there's any trees around, he'll probably sleep up a tree. If there's, like, a raised bit of rock higher up than what the rest are sleeping on, he'll sleep on that.
Well, it's high enough where it isn't thick forest. Like, already the base of the mountain was at a high altitude, but then you also ascended
quite a bit.
So it's mostly just, it isn't thick forest around here. It's like brush and scarce spruce trees.
That's fine.
So yeah, you can sleep up a spruce tree. You could potentially sleep on the remain of the wall, but that might anger the professor.
I considered that, but no.
Like, your grade depends on this.
Also, he has some appreciation for antiquity.
Well, yes. Dekla, where do you sleep and we're special, or do you just sort of plop down? Or
probably sleep under a blanket, under a brush.
They'll be up here for a week, and then you're also expected to lead them down the mountain, so you're supposed to stay with them for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, I shove myself under a bush. But I would definitely take a watch about halfway through the night.
Yeah, okay, so like halfway through the night, Ivana wakes you up, you set up watch, you throw some logs onto the fire, and yeah, it goes like peacefully. I was gonna say, on the way up, you met everyone, so you know everyone's names. Not important, but yeah. Anyways, you know everyone who is on this expedition. Like Dawn, you knew them from before, but Dekla, now you know who everyone is as well. Okay, so next morning, like first light, Professor Katya emerges from her tent, banging two pots together. Okay, wakey, time to wake up. We have a big day of digging and archaeology in front of us. Come on, wake up, breakfast time. Whether or not you wanted to sleep more, can't. She wakes you up.
No, I get up and get moving. I'm quite excited for this.
Anyway, yeah, you have breakfast, and then she's like, okay, now, let's set up tasks. First, we have to do the sketches, right? We have our friend Johanna here. She'll be the sketch artist for this trip. So, anything interesting you find, you call out to her. Now, teams. Let's set up teams. You two, you go check out that part of the wall. The other two, go check out that part of the wall. And she's pointing around, and, yeah, she gives everyone their tasks.
My eyes are firmly locked on the cave entrance until she says anything to me.
Yes, because you're kind of taller than her, and you're standing behind her. She then, oh, wait, is that everyone? That isn't everyone. And she turns around, and she sees you. Oh, right, Dawn. Quick question, don't mean to be racist. Can you see in the dark?
Yes. I say after a long, slow blink.
Right, then you go check out the cave. I don't want to bring in any torchlight, I don't want to destroy anything that might be on the ceiling. Any history that's been there. Survived for the ages.
I nod very solemnly at this and go, of course, Professor, I will see to it.
Right. Somebody should go with you. Oh, what if there's something in there? Ivana! Where's Ivana? Oh, wait, she can't see in the dark. Does anybody here in this camp see in the dark?
She feels a tap on her shoulder.
Yeah, she turns around.
There's a half-orc there, standing with staff in her hand.
Oh, right. Do you see in the dark?
Yes.
Alright, then. I know you're not officially part of this expedition, but I don't want to send my students into an unknown place by himself, so you look like a strong girl. Why don't you accompany him?
I do not see a problem with this. I will look after him.
Alright, perfect. Okay, off you go. And everybody gets set on their tasks. Like the outside team puts like marks their own squares where they're gonna start the dig, and the two of you walk inside.
Oh, it puts up like a grid and...
Yeah, the grid, like 4x4 squares, and by 4x4 I mean 4 meters. And they start first removing the rocks, and they go on about their archaeology business. Two of you?
As we're heading down the cave entrance, I'll look at Dekla and go, should we be expecting anything but maybe an unfortunate encounter with a wild animal, I'll say, looking at the staff.
Do I think there's anything like that? I mean...
Yeah, roll me a nature.
Okay. I'm not very smart at all.
Still.
That is a 5.
Oof.
I rolled a 6.
Oh. Oh, boy!
Mhm.
Oh dear.
I mean, you've seen a lot of things in your time. Could really be anything.
I just kind of shrug and use the staff as a walking stick and just follow you.
Oh good, the strong silent type. And I just waltz into the cave.
Okay, so you walk in. The cave opens into a round natural room, about 15 meters big. There's a layer of dust and debris on the ground, and towards the back you see a stone slab. It's a grey sort of stone cavern.
Is there any inscriptions on the walls or anything?
I mean, roll me an investigation.
Investigation. 15.
15. There's not really anything on the walls, but as you near the stone slab, you can see carvings on that. You can see carvings on the stone slab, which is about 3 meters by 1 meter big, like a meter off the ground.
Is it supported or is it all one single block?
No, it's just a slab. It's a block.
Okay. Does it look like it has a lid?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I investigate the characters on it.
Well, it's not really characters. It's not written. It's card relief.
Mm-hmm.
It depicts a woman with her tits out, quiver, and bow across her torso. Her hands are raised. She has long hair. On the left side of her, there's an eagle in flight. On the other side, there's a pack of dogs.
I stroke my whiskers, looking at it and going, some sort of hunting deity?
Could be.
I will call Dekla. Have you seen anything like this before?
I don't think I have I?
Roll me history.
Oh, wow. Another -1. That's a 6.
No.
Have I seen anything like it before, GM?
Roll.
Just history?
History and or religion.
Okay, it's the same. 13 plus 3 is 16.
You recall something from your research, something about a goddess of the hunt. You don't remember what she was called, but she's one of the old gods.
And knowing that it's about a hunting goddess, do I have any idea what this chamber and this slab would be for? Like, would it be used for preparation?
Oh.
No, I don't. Okay.
No, sorry, I forgot. There are 2 openings to the back of the cavern.
Either side of the slab?
No, not in the side of the slab, in the side of the cavern, in the cave wall.
Ah, okay, yeah.
You would see that when you, well, maybe not when you walked in, because I don't know how far your dark vision goes, but
60.
Yeah, no, you'd see the entire cavern. Maybe not from the entrance, but like once you're standing in the middle of it, you'd see the entire cavern, yeah. It's not a big cavern.
I mean, you only have light from the entrance, and if it's at the back, it's going to be hidden in shadow, even if you do have dark vision, so...
Yeah, but yeah, now that you're in, like, this stone slab is towards the back.
Is there anything around the entranceways to the back of the cavern, where the holes are?
Not really. I mean, it's just, dust and debris.
Okay. But if there's nothing more interesting to find on the stone slab, my attention will quickly fix onto the holes in the back of the cave.
Yeah, Dekla's just kind of standing in the middle of the room, trying not to touch anything.
Dekla, do me a perception. Because he's paying close attention to the walls. You're just standing, looking around. Maybe something will catch your attention.
Oh, no. I finally do something I'm not awful at, and I roll a natural 2, so that's a 4.
Oh, that's a real interesting ceiling.
Yes.
Curved. Nice. Interesting. Aren't there stalactites in the caves usually? Not in this one. Weird. Oh well. What's the cat doing? Yeah, so you go to check out the openings.
Absolutely.
Which one?
I go to the one on the left.
The one on the left. It's a narrow cavern. Curves off to the left. It's about 6 meters deep. Maybe 2 or 3 meters wide. And in the middle of it is a small basin of water under a stalactite. Looks like the basin was built there. And as you walk in further, you see a dead body behind the basin.
What sort of dead? Is it a mummified dead? Is it a still moist dead? Is it a fresh dead?
Roll me medicine. It's not mummified, but like, if you want to know how old it is, it's not really fresh either.
10. I have no idea.
It's been a while. It's not ancient. It's like the clothes are still on. It's.
I will slip around the side of the basin and go to the body. And I will scrutinize it before I touch anything.
Yeah, roll me, what? If you're just looking, then perception.
Perception. 16.
16. Yeah, it's kind of a narrow, angled face. I think it's probably elf. It's probably some kind of elf. His clothes are still intact.
Any sort of crests or coat of arms or anything like that?
Not that you can see, but the clothes, like, you're a fancy kitty, you know what fashion trends are currently, and you haven't seen this kind of fashion anywhere recently. So.
Does it suit him, though? That is the question.
I mean, it's a skeleton.
Yeah, but if something works when you're dead, then, I mean, that's one of the most enduring things, no?
You think it probably looked better when it had muscle to support it?
Good point. I immediately then completely forget about the fashion part of it and start... is there like a bag or anything?
Yes, it has a satchel.
No. I flip open the satchel with the point of one of my daggers.
Nothing springs out of it.
Okay, I will lift up the lip of the satchel and have a look inside.
Okay. Inside is sort of a book. You think it's probably a journal. And you find 6 electrum pieces and an empty flask that's engraved with a symbol of a spider.
Book, empty flask.
The flask is engraved with a spider.
Yeah, and 6 pieces of electrum, which is a sort of currency.
Okay, that's fine.
1 electrum is half gold.
Oh, gnarly.
5 silver, half gold.
Okay, I will make a quick sketch of the way I found the body in the bag, otherwise I would never hear the end of it from the professor.
Yes.
And then I will call in, my stoic friend, you better come have a look at this.
Yeah, she would have been watching him, like, play with this stuff, as far as she's concerned. So she would come in quite quickly and just, like, you needed me.
We've got a body here. Not old, not new. That sort of weird bit in the middle.
Yes, I see that.
Could you go tell the professor, and I will finish off this sketch that I'm doing.
Okay.
There is a sketch artist with you, should you want to, but you don't have to. Just saying it's an option.
Yeah, the professor can bring them if she wants. I am here, and I'm probably a better artist than the sketch anyway.
Sketch artist is an art student. It's cheaper to just let the art students do it for extra credit than it is to actually hire
Don't get me wrong, I'm sure the art student is far better, but Dawn doesn't think so.
Okay, I see. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, he sends you to go get the professor.
Yeah, I'd go get the loud non-halfling professor.
Yeah, Professor Katya.
Yeah.
I swipe the electrum.
Of course.
As I do.
As you do.
And I will start leafing through the journal.
Yeah, it's only a few pages filled in, actually. Like maybe 1 or 2 pages, maybe 3. And it's written in a language you don't understand.
Huh. Well, I'm sure someone around here will. I set it aside, and I examine the flask with the spider engraved on it. I give it a sniff. Do I reckon anything was in it before?
Yes, but you think it wasn't exactly airtight, so it probably evaporated during this time. But the smell is familiar. Roll me Arcana. I mean, I don't know if you would be familiar with it, possibly, but still.
Well, I got a natural 20, so probably.
Oh yeah, no, you've chugged this thing. You've chugged a lot of this thing. No, you haven't.
I might have chugged some of it.
You've had it before, and your sense of smell is very strong. So yeah, it used to be a healing potion.
Okay. Knowing this now, I look at the body again. Does there seem to be any sort of stab wounds on it?
I mean, it's a skeleton.
I know, but I'm talking more in the clothes. Are there any rips?
Not really. Roll me investigation.
9 plus 5, 14.
14. Well, now that you're like specifically looking for something like that, you kind of move it around and you actually find an arrowhead on the ground, and it's made of glass.
Glass?
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. I pick it up, turn it towards the light.
Make me another roll.
I was about to say, have I seen anything like this before?
No.
Is this Arcana or History?
Arcana.
7, 12.
Yeah, you think it's probably not magical. Like, you don't seem to find anything magical about it.
I put it next to the journal and the used healing potion. Check the bag, make sure there's nothing in it.
No, that was it. Like,
no second pockets or anything.
No, you find some lint, some
precious lint.
Some dust of like mushroom stuff that you don't know what it was used for. But when you have tobacco in your bag and you sometimes a bit of it spills out.
Oh yeah.
So it's sort of like that. Reminds you of that, or does it? I don't know.
It does, and I take my pipe out, pack a bit in, and light it up.
Like, it's not, it's just, it's a little bit, it's just like a pinch of it at most.
No, I don't take it and put it into my pipe. I take my own tobacco and put it into my pipe, just so we're clear.
Okay, because I was like, you're going to just stick some strange...
I don't know what this is, but I'm going to smoke it.
Substance that you just find.
No, it's not one of those trips. So, having looked at the body, I then examine the basin.
Yeah, around this time, you hear from the outside distressed noises of a middle-aged professor.
In here, Professor, don't worry.
What do you mean there's a body? How do you mean you found a body? Like, what killed him? What died? Who? How long was? What was it? Is it dangerous?
It's not dangerous. It's perfectly safe.
This could lose me my funding. This could lose me funding. Oh, God, there's a corpse in there.
Yes, it's very dead, though. Don't worry. It's been that way. The important thing is, Professor, the important thing is, do you recognize this language? Yes. And I shove the journal in her hands.
Oh. And she looks at it and she's like, oh. Yes. Hold on. I don't understand it, but, check this. And she, opens her own satchel and she pulls out an orb. And she compares the writings on the orb to, writing in the journal. And she's like, you see, this orb was found by a shepherd in the spring. That's why we're here, because this was found. And this is undercommon. This indicates, this indicates the pre-Saint's time, because that's...
Well, it's good to have correlation, isn't it? I cut her off before she can ramble too much more. It seemed the fellow had a healing potion on him as well, which seems to have faded to dust in the time he's been here. GM, have I seen the orb before? Do I know that's what brought us here?
She probably mentioned it. I don't think you've, seen it, because she told you that you're here because an artifact was found. You assume that's the artifact.
Gotcha.
It's not like she's been showing it, or maybe she has. I'm not sure. She's a nerd. She'd be excited about showing it. Yeah, you've probably seen it because she's been showing it to you.
Also, Dawn would make a point of knowing what it was, just because, really.
No, she's been showing it to you on the way up here. Like, you assume that's the thing she went to pick up in the village.
Gotcha.
When she left you a bit.
I then take the arrowhead and hold it up and go, have either of you seen anything like this before?
It's a glass arrowhead, and the professor says, adjusts her glasses a little bit, and she's like, I don't believe I have. I think I've come across it in my research, but I couldn't tell you right now. It's
Declan, any ideas?
Have I seen it or heard of it?
What would they teach you?
Nothing at all like this.
I don't think glass weaponry was really a topic.
No.
So
certainly not ranged.
You don't know. You probably recognize that it's an arrowhead because of the shape, but other than that,
useless to me.
Does it look like it's of particularly good quality, or is it just a standard piece of scrap?
Would you have enough knowledge about weaponry to know that?
That is a fair point. Probably not.
I'll say you can't tell for sure.
I have no idea. Alright.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for it because I don't know what that would fall under, so I'm just gonna say you don't have enough knowledge to know about it.
Fair enough. I give it all over to the professor for her safekeeping. I go, shall we investigate the right-hand tunnel? We haven't been down there yet. And without waiting for an answer, I just walk out the cave and walk towards the right-hand tunnel.
Okay.
I'll follow.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I got ahead of myself. Was there anything on the basin? Or in the basin? Or was it just a carved basin?
There's water in the basin. It's like a small basin, like less than a meter in diameter. And every minute or so, a drop of water drips down from the stalactite above it.
Okay. But it doesn't seem to have overflowed at all.
No, you think it's slow enough that it evaporates before it can do that.
Okay. In that case, I will swan off to the right-hand side tunnel then.
Professor Katya stays behind. She's doing some more investigating on the basin. Dekla, would you do you stay with Professor? Do you?
No, I'd be following Dawn.
Yeah, so you just walk right into the cave then. The right cave.
I mean, I'm taking care. I'm not just swanning in there blindly, but yeah.
The opening curves off to the right into a cavern, which is about 5 meters in diameter. And you kind of look carefully around the corner and you see 2 weird, large purple mushrooms. And the one that's closer to you seems a bit smaller.
I will turn to my guide and say, have you encountered any purple mushrooms?
I've not done too much of the underground exploring. Not seen anything like this.
Do you reckon they're safe to approach? As I stroke my whiskers.
Roll me something. Nature.
Me?
Yeah, you. He's asking you.
Yeah, but he also doesn't know if he knows anything. That is a 15.
I mean, they look like mushrooms. I mean, it's weird that they're here, and you haven't seen any purple mushrooms, and you haven't seen mushrooms that large. The largest mushroom you saw was a stump mushroom that was like 2 kilos big. It was like a mutant mushroom, but these are like 2 meters high.
I've never seen any mushrooms quite like these, but I suppose they could be poisonous, could be anything.
They look so much fun, but I suspect they wouldn't be good.
Maybe, treat them with caution.
That is an excellent idea. I go into the cave, but I stick to the edges away from the mushrooms to see what's in the cave.
I mean, it's a pretty small cave.
5 meters. The mushrooms aren't. How wide are the mushrooms?
They occupy 1 square.
Okay.
And when you step in from the smaller one, 4 large stalks burst out of the central mass, and they reach towards you.
Shit.
Roll me an initiative.
23.
Wow, 10.
Well, actually, you go first. You see the 4 stalks burst out of the central mass. They're going right at you. What do?
I get out of the cave. I run. I'm not dealing with this. No, thank you. With a scrabble of claws and that sort of like galloping motion that cats sometimes make before they finally get their feet and take off, I dart out of the cave and come on, this way!
Wow.
Okay, next one, Dekla.
I guess I'm gonna back off, but stand in the entranceway to this room and just kind of watch what's happening.
Can't you hear Professor Katya scream what's going on there? What's happened?
I cut my hand and call back over my shoulder. Nothing, Professor. It's okay. Don't worry.
Is something going on? And she goes out of the left cavern.
I assume I can't see her doing that.
I don't know where you ran to.
I ran A, behind the monk, and B, probably to the kink in the corridor, because you said it went off to our right, so the kink to the left. And I probably went around that, but not into the main cavern.
I mean, it's right there, the corridor is there's not a lot of corridor, it's just, you're right around the corner. Okay, so this mushroom, it's still reaching out its tendrils toward, wait, Dekla, did you say you moved or you're right there?
I'm kind of blocking the entrance to the mushroom area, so I'll probably, be right in the line of fire, as it were.
Yeah, and you see the bigger mushroom behind it also animates, and it also 4 stalks burst out of that one. So the one that's closer to you, the smaller one, is you see it's got sort of tiny stumps on the bottom, and it starts moving towards you, and it's gonna slap out with 3 of its tendrils. Does an 18 hit.
Wow, yes.
Okay, does a 4 hit.
No.
Okay, does a 12 hit.
No.
You manage to block off 2 of the tendrils, but the third one sort of bitch slaps you across the face and feel sort of your strength drained from that area, and you lose 4 hit points.
Okay.
Okay, Dawn, it's your turn.
Was it just the professor that came in, or did other people join her when I sent the monk to get her?
No, just the professor, but she's standing right behind you, and she sees there's commotion going on, so...
I sort of usher her away and back into the main cavern going, there, Professor, it's okay. Could you do us a favour, and could you get us Ivana, please?
She's shocked, and she's yes, right away, and she darts off.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I sort of watch her grow with a frozen expression, and then turn and dive back down the tunnel.
Okay, well, that's your action then? Or, wait, you didn't use a all your movement for that.
How wide is this tunnel? Is it only one abreast?
It's like 1 square.
Okay, so I take it I can't get past Declan.
You can push her to the side if...
I won't for now, but just for maybe next turn.
So, Dekla, it's your turn now.
How close is the closest mushroom creature?
It's like 10 feet away from you.
Yeah, I guess I'll just go up to it and give it the old 1-2 with my quarterstaff. Waha!
Go ahead.
Oof, that's a 7, which is really awful. And no?
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
You hit it. They're very big and very clumsy. They have basically no dex.
Well, they are plants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is 7 bludgeoning.
Okay, cool. That's your first attack.
Yes, it is. And I'll use my bonus action to, let's say, give it a whack, like a karate chop on the head. Or top, I suppose. That is a 10.
That hits.
My rainbow dice. That is a 4 bludgeoning for an unarmed attack.
You manage to hit it right in the spot, right in the top. It's not really a top like, the mushroom half circle thing. It's more like the oval up, if you know what I mean. But yeah, you manage to karate chop right through it, and you leave a super big gash. And
Yeah.
It's gross. Its tendrils are still reaching towards you, and the other one is also gaining up. It also has the tiny nubs at the bottom, and it's using it to inch forward a bit, so it's getting closer.
So it's gross, but it also has cute little feet.
I guess. Okay, it's the mushroom's turn. So, you're right in its face, so it's gonna try to get rid of you. And another 3 tendrils fly towards you. Does a 10 hit your AC?
No.
No, okay.
Dodge out of the way.
Does a 13 hit your AC?
No.
Okay, does a 16 hit your AC?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. So, again, you manage to move away from the incoming tendrils, but the third one manages to get you right in the arm, and you lose another 3 hit points.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, the other mushroom is trying to reach you, but the first one is kind of in the way, and it's having a real hard time reaching around it, so...
Well, I mean, that's good, because I don't have many hit points left.
Okay, so, top of the round. Dawn, your turn.
Can I hear Ivana coming?
Yes, you think she'll be here next round, like, mechanically speaking.
I will sort of look down the cave entrance to where Ivana is, look back down the tunnel to where my companion is fighting the mushrooms. It's like, and I sort of look at what I'm wearing, wonder if I can give it up or not, and then just, oh, yes, fine, the paperwork if she died. And I rush and help her.
Such a brave character.
I will, out of the folds of the robe, Dawn whips out a short sword and starts chopping at the mushroom.
Go ahead.
So 10 plus, that's 17 on the first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I figure. And for the 2 weapon wielding, I get another attack, but that was without any of the proficiencies, yes?
Yes.
Right. That was a 7.
Still hit.
Okay.
Wait, actually, you know what? You hit real hard. Just roll me damage, because I'm guaranteeing you.
It was 3 penetrating damage, unless I add my dex modifier to the damage dice.
Yeah, I think you also add the dex, but anyways, you don't have to, because you pierce your blade right through its oval purple top, and the tendrils just sort of wave around and flop down. Congratulations, you just killed a mushroom.
I eat it and grow to twice my previous size.
It's the mushroom's turn, and right now you're in front of Dekla, so does a 15 hit your AC?
Nope.
Okay, so the first tendril doesn't hit you. The second does a 5 hit your AC?
No.
No, also no. Okay, so you just kind of duck under the 2 tendrils, and
I don't want to get my waistcoat dirty.
we're back on top of the initiative, and at this point you see Ivana run in the cave after you.
I say, oh, thank you at last, and I disengage.
Well, it is your turn, so you can disengage if you want.
I will. The professional's here, and I stow my short sword.
Okay, so if that's all you do, the next up is Ivana. Well, I mean, she
Well, hit it then.
She has a spear, and she rushes in, and she kind of jams her spear towards the mushroom. She rolls a 9, and she hits for 5 damage. And then it's the mushroom's turn, and now that Ivana's in front of it, it's gonna focus on Ivana. It's gonna again burst 2 tendrils at her, the exact other 2 that didn't previously attack you. And the tendrils are both. First one hits, the other one doesn't. Tendrils hit Ivana, and she kind of shivers a bit. You can kind of see her going pale on the spots where it hit her. And we're back at the top of the initiative. It's Dawn's turn.
Has Cora gone?
No, you're right. Sorry, I skipped you. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I was out here playing with myself and I just kind of forgot about you.
Nice.
It happened.
I think what I would do is go up to the mushroom and just kind of distract it and help Ivana to attack it.
Because I accidentally did it so that you went last. That means you're not in any real danger as of right now. Anyways, it's Dawn. It's your turn again.
Okay, if those 2 are busy distracting it, I sort of roll my eyes in exasperation at the fact they're taking so long, and I slip around the back and sneak attack it.
Can do, because it's, yeah, okay, go, attack.
First, a 2 plus 7 is 9. Does that hit?
Yes, it hits.
Okay.
They have very low AC.
They're squishy mushrooms.
Yeah, they're big and clumsy. Like, it's very difficult not to hit them.
8 damage in total.
Ooh.
Nice.
Damn, son.
Sneak attack.
Sneak attack. So yeah, you stab the mushroom. Yeah, you stab it through the stalk. It actually pierces out on the other end. You pull it back and the slow dribble of mushroom juice dribbles down where you hit it.
Second strike?
Oh, you have another strike.
Well, I have 2 weapons.
You have 2 weapons, you're right. Bonus action.
I rolled a 7 plus...
Yeah, it hits. Yeah.
Oh, and I rolled a 6 on the damage dice. Does it count as sneak attack for the second strike? I don't think it does it?
I'm gonna go ahead and say no. We might have to retcon it in future episodes, but as of right now, I'm gonna say no, it's not a sneak attack.
No, that's fine. It's hard to sneak when you've stabbed them already.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that was another load of 6 damage.
And you slash it with the other short sword. Sort of goes sideways across the top down to the stalk, and the tendrils that were sort of flailing around just kind of wiggle out and fall down. And congratulations, you've killed another mushroom.
Huzzah!
And you got out of it unscathed. Bravo!
I have people to do that sort of work for me. I wipe off the short swords and sort of stow them away in my robes, and I will look around the room.
Okay, you see that these mushrooms were growing out of a skeleton. 2 skeletons, actually. One of them looks like a large beast. The other looks human.
I examine the skeletons.
Examine the skeletons. Roll me nature medicine. Like, both of you can do that if you're looking at the skeletons. Ivana's just sort of standing back, just like, what the fuck was that?
I got a 12.
I've been rolling so badly on all of the skills today. I got a 7 on medicine, but I rolled a 3.
Actually, I'd let you roll nature for it, like, if it's better.
No, my nature is -1.
And medicine is better? Didn't you, like, used to live in the mountains?
Yeah, but I've got survival, I don't have nature.
Right.
And I'm really dumb. Really, really, really dumb. Even if I was trained in nature, I would only have a +1.
Still. How much did you roll again? I didn't.
I rolled a 3.
Yikes.
+4, so 7.
One of the skeletons sure does have sharp teeth.
Mm.
The other skeleton, what did you roll, Dawn?
12.
Well, yeah. One of the skeletons is a humanoid, the other is probably a bear. All the beasts look similar when they're a skeleton, but you think it's probably a bear?
Interesting. Why do you think the mushrooms are growing out of them? Was it something they ate, maybe?
And also, they look like, well, I don't want to say ancient, but like dead for a long time.
Okay.
But the clothes on the humanoid are still fresh. Like, fresh. Not like out of the dryer fresh, but like, not...
They're not rags or anything.
Yeah.
That is very strange.
I have a little look through the clothes.
Okay. Roll me an investigation.
As I'm doing this, I'm sort of muttering to myself, do you reckon the mushrooms fed on them? Like, this one hasn't been dead for very long. And that was an investigation. That was a 19.
Oh, yeah. On the human, you find 7 silver pieces, 3 copper pieces, a basic short sword, a basic short bow with 12 basic arrows, and a hunting knife that's got, like, burned into the handle. It's got a symbol. It's a stag with a dagger.
Hunting knife.
And you also find a small glass orb, like different from the one the professor was showing you, smaller for one. But yeah.
More symbols and more glass.
And the other's orb wasn't glass, it was metal. Let's say metal, it's not important.
The hunting knife had the stamp of a deer and a heart, yes?
A sort of dagger. It's not a reference to Game of Thrones. It's a reference to something else.
It's okay. The silver and copper disappears if it's possible to do it subtly.
I mean, roll me sleight of hand if you don't want others to see it.
Okay. 22.
Dekla, roll me perception.
12.
No, it's kind of dark, and you're kind of more intrigued by the mushroom corpses and skeletons, so you're not really paying attention to him. So yeah, you pocket the money.
Excellent. The hunting knife I will show to her, though.
To who? The professor or Dekla?
Dekla, as she's there.
So wait, you called for the professor or...
I've asked Ivana to go get the professor.
Yeah, and she's just sort of nodding, like, yeah, sure.
I sort of, turn her around and give her a gentle nudge out the cave to get her moving.
Yeah, and she walks out, sort of...
dazed.
Yeah, dazed.
I adjust my glasses slightly and go, Odd one, do you think this is her first rodeo?
Maybe. I mean, someone who, acts all tough like that, you would not expect.
Dawn, university gets, a town guard to accompany you on these expeditions. So, even if it's not her first rodeo, she probably only ever dealt with other humans.
Yeah, true. Maybe never even seen a dead body.
Or that, or she's fresh meat, you don't know, but... You don't know her that well, you just met her, today. Or, wait, yesterday.
I suppose we all have to start somewhere. Anyway, yes, Dekla, this knife, have you seen this crest before?
Roll. You can both roll for it if you want.
What would it be rolling?
Religion.
That's a 4.
Oh, boy.
My dice do not like me.
Yeah, how much did you roll?
I got a 19, but I'm not specialized in it or anything.
You've actually seen this symbol before. It's the symbol of Saint Hubert, who is the patron saint of hunters. And you actually know that symbol from a party.
Do I now?
Where a drink was being served from a bottle that had that symbol on it.
Ah, okay. So, a dagger with a saint in relief on it is found in a shrine, tomb, of an older deity of the hunt.
Yeah. Remember, the corpse looked old, but the clothes on it were fresh-ish. Fresher than the other corpse.
The arrow. Where did the arrow come from? And I sort of crouch down slightly as I get an itch between my shoulder blades.
Okay.
Concerning. Anyway, I don't think there's much else to see in here, is there?
I mean, there's, you're thinking this was, a bear cave, and you actually see some debris in the back of the room.
I go investigate that then.
Yeah, it's mostly pottery shards. You're thinking, with your basic archaeology skills, this is interesting pottery. Capital interesting. Then again, it's archaeology, all the pottery is interesting.
It's the nature of pottery. However, I also know it's far beyond my expertise, so I shall call when the professor arrives back with Ivana, who we sent after her. We will point this out.
She doesn't even see the mushrooms. She doesn't even see the skeletons. She just sees the pile of broken pottery shards in the back, and her eyes turn to stars.
See, Professor, it was worth it, wasn't it?
Oh my saints! And she just rushes at it, and she's like, we gotta catalog all of this. This is so much, this is so big. This was mostly used for candle pottery, mostly for lighting the candles, and she goes on to a big spiller around it, and she's like, it's like a kid at Christmas,
After about the first 5 minutes of the rant, I'm gonna exchange a look with Dekla, and then just leave.
Yeah, I'd probably follow now that I know it's safe.
Oh, and look, here's a ritual blade. It was used in the wars and so on, and yeah, you leave.
We will send people in with her with torches, and we're not going to just leave her alone in there. But I get lectures enough at university. I don't need one while out in the field.
Exactly.
I am tapping finger to my lips, and very strange though. The timelines don't add up on those bodies. Maybe the mushroom drained them.
Could be.
Maybe this place drained them. Ugh, that's an uncomfortable thought. And I sort of hustle a bit more to get out the cave, my tail starting to flick.
Okay, cool. So that means you're done with the cave?
If there was nothing else I could see in there, then no.
I mean, you didn't go search for the pottery pile, but that's okay. Now, the orb that you found on the hunter, that's simple enough to figure out. It's an orb of direction. It points north. Like, there's a...
Is there a little arrow engraved in it?
No, there's a small red dot appears on the edge of it, and...
Okay.
Yeah, as you turn it around, it stays pointing to the north.
It's
a magic item called Orb of Direction. You reckon the hunter probably had it?
I will offer it to Dekla for your wanderings.
Could prove useful.
Like, hold it out to you inside 2 claws.
I'd probably take it.
Good show back in there, by the way. Very, very, very good.
Just give you a solemn nod. Thank you.
Dawn does genuinely seem sincere. He doesn't seem like he's taking the piss.
He's impressed.
You were very quick back there. That's for sure.
Well, alacrity, it helps in certain situations. I sort of check my fur.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit more dusty than usual, but other than that, you got out of it pretty okay.
I examine one claw and, flick a bit of dirt off of it and, lick my hand, and then go get the lunch.
Yeah, I mean, it's been long enough, and the rest of the day goes by uneventfully. You pick out a section and help with the digging. The professor is still in the chamber, and the art student, Johanna, a female tiefling, she's with her, just sketching. And then at the end of the day, they emerge from the cave, and the professor is you see stars in her eyes, and she's just going on and on about what she found. And was an entire thing it wasn't even broken. It was this little clay whistle, and she shows you how it's been all documented and stuff, and now she's just showing you, it's this little rooster whistle, and she's found some pottery shards depicting the old goddess Melora of the hunt with her tits out. She's just going on and on about it, and there was a dull ritual blade and some ancient bones and stuff like that imply animal sacrifices happened in this temple before the hunt, that this cave was a sacred ground. So that's it for the day. If there's anything else you want to do the next day, or any other day. Dekla, you can help with the excavation in the front of the cave, but you don't have to. It's not required of you. Dawn, it is required of you.
That's fine. I'm more than happy to help out. Although, I do start taking guard shifts because something about the bodies is off and the timeline upsets me a bit.
I mean, you can go check the cave again if you want. I'm not gonna go into detail about it, but otherwise, yeah, you take guard shifts, nothing happens, it goes by uneventfully. By the end of the week, you've excavated enough of the earth within the wall structures, which you presume what used to be a temple, sort of temple structure. You actually start uncovering remains of a statue. You've dug out a hand.
Was it fresh?
No, it was stone. It was granite.
Okay, good.
It's granite, and it goes down further, and you've uncovered just a bit of a head, and you're figuring there's a whole statue under there.
Yeah, I will definitely mark that out.
And the professor is ecstatic. She's like, oh my god, do you realize what this means? This means we can get additional funding. This means we can return, we can continue the excavation. She's ecstatic.
I will be delighted to go back to the university for you, Professor, and show our results and request the funding so you can stay on site and make sure everything runs smoothly.
I mean, we've only had funding for a week. I have to go back anyways, but we can come back. That's the important part. We can come back. So the week passes, you descend down the mountains with your findings, some of the examples, a few pottery shards, catalog, dull blade, the rooster whistle. Is there anything else?
Other than things that were on the actual bodies, you didn't mention anything else?
No, because that's not archaeological finds.
Needs to stay there at least another 100 years.
Yeah, at least, otherwise it's grave robbing.
Please, grave reappropriation.
Well, a rogue would say that, yes. The rest of the week passes more or less uneventfully, and you descend down the mountains, back to the village. Dekla, you get paid, and part ways, never to see each other again. Or are you? Dice Out Now Game is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Our intro and outro music is Bells by Fake Cats Project. If you want to get in touch with us, you can find us at Dice Out Now Game on Twitter, where you will also find links to our personal accounts. If you can, please rate and review our podcast, and tell your friends about us. Now, game!